All right, so I thought it would be easiest to just roll along with this tutorial by matching, kind of loosely matching of what's in the textbook and the these steps, including the asked about automation. So um, let's do this. Let's do automation first, since that was asked, and then let's go back and try to do steps 1 through 12, skipping some steps in between. So this is in your textbook on mixing steps, and let's go over it. All right, let's start by organizing by putting on colors. How do you put colors on? Well, you the Mac is not as PC as Reaper is not as friendly towards Macs. It's more friendly towards PCs, so you can't right click and put the color in. You kind of have to look for it, and you look for it through going into customize themes and theme adjuster. So say if I want waves and seagulls, and I have that actually change the color into green, and then change this color to orange, and change this color to pink, and then change this color, let's try that, blue. And you want to do that in order to help you organize it, and check it out, it also changes the timeline as well. So we want to learn how to automate, and so what we're doing is, well, let's make sure that's next in our list. So it's not next in our list, but let's just do that anyhow because that was asked about. And so automate is a way of, recording your working the faders, essentially. And working the faders is important because you want to get the mix again even, and the sounds even, and the sound levels all even, and all that stuff. So how you do that is that let's do one that we haven't manipulated yet, and it'll be the real synth, and we want to so with how you get to automate is you go to the trim, and it says not only is it trim, it's track, envelopes. You see what it says, automation mode, trim, read. Okay, so you click this, and what you're trying to do is you are trying to record the volume. There's all sorts of automation that you can do. All this automation, such as reverb and things like that, is awesome, but today we're just focusing on volume, which is the most popular thing to automate. In order to record it, you hit write. So you got volume, write, and all is good. Let's try this. So you now are officially ready to automate this little synthesizer. Let's spread it out so we see a little bit more of what's going on. And notice this little timeline has been added, and this is the automation timeline. Okay, let's make sure we click it to the beginning, and let's play, and let's mess around with the synthesizer in this one. stop it. Notice the kind of like peaks and valleys here, all created, carved in. That matches the automation. Let's make sure it works though, because in order to make it, check it, as it has to be then turned into read mode. And again, we click it back, make sure it's at the beginning, and let's play it. And notice that the other one, I had tested it out, and this other one is working fine. So you can have, again, multiple automations. You just have to do one track at a time. And it's working. Both are working. So that's how to automate volume. You can automate other things such as stereo panning and everything else. A little trick. If you want this higher and you want to focus on the mixer board, you just bring this little greenish, neon greenish line up, and you can watch this in action easier. Okay. Alright. Let's stop. Find that line, bring it down. Okay, now we're going to go and talk a little bit about, well, let's see what we have on the agenda. Always listen to the whole thing. Each step you add and listen to it maybe even one or two times. Always kind of step away from it. Fresh ears. I will go into step 7, which is EQing, and that's generally before compression. And compression's down there. So EQ, let's do that. So with EQing, you don't have to do a lot of EQing with synthesizers in general, because it's already and compression with synthesizers, but you can do a little bit, and I'll show you in a bit what is that sound and what we did with the EQing and what is that sound. For now, let's say you get the EQ, and I got Reaper EQ and Reaper composition, compression. Now what I did was with this is I kind of rolled down the lows and brought up kind of like the middle area, and brought down the kind of the highs a little bit. And there's no preset for found sounds or ocean sounds. So basically I'm just messing it with myself. These are really subtle, and I didn't want to mess it around too much, but I did want to bring it, they're already shaped that way in general. I just cut this little area out, but you can play with it. You can even automate this. Or you like the weird tinny sounds, you could do that. But I'm keeping it normal. I just chose to keep it normal. A lot you can do. Again, I'm keeping it pretty normal. So compression, Now with compression, I felt like I could kind of manipulate a little bit. I could add some gain to it because I felt like the compression, what it does again, it brings up the lows and brings down the highs. So it's kind of like squashes it and has this nice. So if it was a scream, the scream and a whisper don't really mix well together. So you have to compress it so the scream comes down a level and the whisper comes up. So this is the top, and this is from getting. So this is blocking a threshold. It can't go past +2. That would be maybe a little too loud. You see where it is right here? So that's good for reference. And we also want, but we want to bring up the output mix, because it's a little low. So we want to, so let's try it. But if we did something like, you'll see the red happening. You see the red happening? We don't want the red happening. So get a nice little, right around here is really good, and not making it go too much past 6, -6 honestly. If it gets up here, it's too high. So that's the output mix. Don't worry about any of this stuff. The defaults are totally fine on this. So that's compressing that.